What's up, Kosovo? This is Coach Q. I'm your host for the upcoming podcast called Never the Right Time. We are on every Tuesdays, 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. 103.5, 105.5 Urban FM. We're going to be talking all things around health, fitness, lifestyle. Please check us out. Here's a quick shout out to our sponsors, 5-Star Fitness and Onze Recovery. 5-Star Fitness, goes without saying, we need to be active nowadays. It's a must. And to help with this, 5-Star Fitness, with locations across the country, has established itself as the place to pursue your fitness goals. Now, Onze Recovery, let's talk about stress from daily life, leaving us depleted, in need of that reboot. Onze Recovery offers different types of therapies to help you recover from the daily stresses, especially when we are limited with time. Welcome to Never the Right Time with Coach Q. This is 103.5 or 105.5 Urban FM. Today's episode, I am joined by Ilir Halili, who is the owner of Klub, Sportfreunde, a gym based out of Zurich. I had the pleasure of meeting Ilir when he was visiting in the summer at actually 5-Star. So shout out to our sponsors, 5-Star Fitness and Onze Recovery. Thank you for sponsoring this show. Now back to Ilir. This summer, pretty much out of the blue, ran into you. You were here training with a friend, I think. And I was training with a client, and then we struck up a conversation. I had the pleasure of visiting your gym in Zurich. Was it maybe 6 weeks ago or so,
Yes.
a month and a half? Super impressive. But before we dive into that, maybe we go into a quick intro of who you are, what you do, where you do it at.
My name is Ilir Halili. I am 36 years old. I'm a father of 3, married to a wonderful wife, and I'm the owner of Klub Sportfreunde in Zurich. It is a strength and conditioning center, basically a big or huge personal training center that is based in Zurich. And we meet up, as you said, in summer. I was here for a wedding from a family member, and I was surprised to see someone like you training like you were training, or giving a training in a high quality standard. I'm not used to it, to this city, because I think the scene is also pretty new. Mm-hmm. And we get to know each other. I was impressed by you and by your person, also by your story that you moved to Prishtina as a Swiss citizen, going to London, and from London moving to Prishtina is an unusual term, but it was quite interesting to get in touch with you, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying to have a good conversation with you and to have this exchange. And thank you for your invitation.
Absolutely.
It was a quite stressful journey today. We tried to be here at 2:00, but our airplane was a little bit late, and even now we came too late.
It's all right.
I'm still having my pump from the gym session I had at Flex Gym.
Yes.
The new one. I wanted to try it, and yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, scoping the scene out a little bit, right?
So just seeing what the city has to do.
Yeah, one thing that certainly I want to. Well, let's dive into that in terms of the scene here, right? I mean, you're originally from family from
yes.
here, and also you were at 5-Star in the summer. You just checked out Flex Gym. There is, I think, something interesting happened, and that's part of the reason I decided to also move here, where the population is, it goes without saying, super young, pretty motivated. Right. There is a growing gym culture. And, as we just, shout out to Flex as well and 5-Star, but, that they just opened a new facility. So there's going to be there's more gyms appearing in the city, right?
Yeah, as you said, today is a startup feeling in the city, and the people or the population is pretty young. So you feel this energy, and I think the demand to look good, to express something or to be healthy. Yeah. And you feel that if you're coming into this city, you have a quite big energy that you can feel. But you can tell more about this, because I'm just now and then here in this city. But
Yeah, but it's interesting to get your perspective from, looking in from the outside. Like I was from the outside, and now I'm in the thick of it, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes it can get a little bit sort of, let's say, you get a bit pigeonholed, or you're sort of used to it. But then again, also, I do most of my training and client sessions at 5-star. Now, occasionally, I will venture out to a number of CrossFit gyms. So shout out to CrossFit Prishtina, as well as Fitbox in Kosovo, and Iron Brothers. So I, from my background, naturally, I kind of migrate towards that. But then, I'm constantly also trying to look out for what else there is, right? And you, being based in Zurich, now we'll definitely go into Klub der Sportfreunde, but like Zurich, the market naturally is a bit more mature, right?
Oh, yeah,
but
for
there's also, and with that, it goes without saying, there's so much more variety, right? Like you go from the gyms to the CrossFit to yoga to wellness, recovery, like, and then even sports specific, like it.
Yeah, the density is huge. I mean, if you go to Oerlikon, a part of Zurich, I think a few years ago they had the biggest density in worldwide in gyms.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
In terms of population, so the demand is high. The like net income is pretty high. The people can afford for basically every budget that you can offer, depending on the services, of course. But you can find from super cheap 24/7 gyms to high-end gyms like I am or I own. You can find everything, and you find the clients for this.
Yes.
If you deliver the right services, and this what you see here is like and this is nothing critical. It's just
observation, right?
Yeah, observation. And what I have seen right now, they try to be really good, to try to deliver a good facility, of a good gym, as you have seen today, or as I have seen today in Flex Gym. But they are still pretty young, and you see that they are going towards a style of. It reminds me on Dubai. So you're going into the gym and you have like all in one. You have nutrition, you have like a shake bar, you have like some nice ladies welcoming you. You have a clean environment, everything, but nothing specific. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with this. You're gonna find the people they want to train there, and you're gonna find this clientele that are fitting into this gym. But as you said, in Zurich you can find these type of services where you have more mature clientele or a more younger population. So
yeah, and part of that is also, let's say, generally speaking, like the Swiss population, right? Like in terms of fitness, wellness, all of these things are a little bit more established,
yeah,
right?
well, I would say, as you know it from Geneva, you have a lot of expats in Zurich. So European, Asians, Americans, they are used to this type of services like personal training, CrossFit, group trainings. They are in a higher price rank. They are willing to pay the services as well.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just take it in consideration, my gym membership starts at $1,500 a year. This is the basic one. Yeah. And it raises up till over 1,120 per month. It's like equal Euro Swiss francs. So
yeah,
you can.
Yeah, so that's gym membership plus then the personal training, all the additional package, package, right?
All the services included, of course, and the special thing that we have is we are limited to 500 clients. So you're gonna have how you call it, like a exclusive feeling into the gym. You're gonna pull in the certain type of clients. I would say all my clients have the same thing in mind. They're all high performers, and I talk in their private life and their sports life. So they perform the same thing, like they do the job, the studies, their position in their life. They participate as well in the gym. So they're coming with goals. They know exactly what they want. They know exactly what type of services they want to see, how clean it should be, how you should treat them. So the service aspect is pretty high.
Yeah, and I mean certainly that was the first impression. Even when I got to visit, it was even if it was just for a few hours, like it started with the entrance, right? In terms of when you walk in, the nice coffee bar, right? Already kind of, it's not like a bit of a lounge, but an area where people can actually take a minute, right? And then already the little pathway into the locker rooms, right? Where that was all custom made as well, right? And then you had the open space where you had different sections, right, for again what people are interested in,
Yes.
but there was enough space in between kind of for people to breathe, and like they don't feel like sometimes where commercial gyms could be like peak hours, it's a zoo.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But that's the thing we provide, is a privacy feeling. Well, as I said in the beginning, is a huge personal training studio basically. So
Yeah.
if you have like 50 to 60 people training at the same time, it's a lot. Then you feel like it's packed.
Yeah.
And as you said, there are different sections. And what's special with us is we don't have any mirrors. What we don't provide, we are not a bodybuilding gym. Nothing wrong with bodybuilding, but I don't need to jump into this shark tank where everybody provides the service of bodybuilding in the highest demand, with the highest quality. I don't need to come there and try to play the big player. I can be the big player in the specific field like Olympic weightlifting, powerlifting, athletic training, rehab, prehab, stuff like this.
And that goes back to your point in terms of like here, it is sort of still very much like the bodybuilding focus, right?
Yes. Nothing wrong with it.
Yes, absolutely nothing. I think we both, in terms of, because you're also a trainer, right? Like myself. And so there's principles from bodybuilding that we will lean on, always lean on, right?
Absolutely.
But then in terms of like the business model side of things, it's sort of you've found sort of niches, because it's not just one kind of, right?
Yes.
Where, again, finding that specificity, right? Where the impression that you have currently with the gym market here is like, everyone's trying to do a little bit of everything, but it's sort of,
we call it rote Faden in German. It's the red line. So it's like your marketing view or the vision that you have on a company. Where you should go. So you should have this red line always, and you should always identify with this red line. So that means also, if you step in, if you build up a new gym, as an example, it should be remarkable the same like the other one. You should feel like in the other one, the original gym. So if you just construct a gym and you just buy in stuff and say it's going to be the same name, but it's going to be totally different thing, the people are going to recognize it. But as long as you're going to just try to be better than yesterday and just develop the product, the services, they're going to feel it. Even if you're going towards a different direction, you're going to provide them with the same services. So you're going to be still a barbell gym, in my case, or you're going to be still an athletic gym, or strength and conditioning, or rehab, prehab. You need to provide the services in the highest demand and try to keep your red line.
Yeah, the core essence of
exactly.
it. Right?
So don't jump from training style to training style. So don't try to be the best in everything. My biggest advice on personal trainers is like, if you find your field that you're good in, specialize in it and be the best in it.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes. Try to do educations, try to read, you have so much information out there that you can have for free nowadays. So specialize, be the spine guru, be the knee guru, be the power guru, whatever. Just be it, and try to pull in the clients for this specific term. Be good in different things, but pull them in with your specific, with your strength. And if the client says one day, "Hey, you know what? I have seen it. I want to try now CrossFit." Be fine with it.
Yeah.
Refer it to a friend, to someone that you know is good.
Absolutely.
And don't be jealous if he leaves you. Well, you know why? Because if he leaves you in a good thing, in a good
terms, right? Like
exactly. Yeah. He's gonna refer always to you. He's gonna always say, if somebody asks him why you're looking so good, why you're training so good, why is your training style so good, why do you know so much? It's because of them.
Yeah, and it's like there's a million ways to go about it, right? Just like your diet, and like you change your diet.
Exactly.
So there should be that freedom. Like it goes without saying, right?
Yeah,
whether you're happy, even if you're happy, or certainly if you're not happy, you're not married to, this trainer, right? Like you have that choice to explore other ways. And sometimes it's like people just want to go in a different direction, right?
For sure.
You develop a new interest, right?
Sure.
And I think it goes without, like with trainers as well. I certainly agree that it's become really good at something, because already within that space, say you mentioned spine, knee guru, whatever, like that's evolving, right? It's not static.
Yeah.
Like there's going to be new ways or new approaches, or the things just evolve, right? And then, yeah, of course, you also want to kind of like be able to, just out of curiosity, right? Like be able to like, expand your knowledge base and like maybe apply different techniques in different ways, right?
But you're going to grow up as well.
Yeah.
So one day you need to also to teach your stuff to someone else that takes over and you're going to lead them. Or do you want to be a personal trainer for your life?
Yeah.
That's a good question, right?
Yeah, that's something I think about a lot.
Nothing wrong with it, but from a business perspective, so one day you need to be ready to let them go.
As much as I'd love to think that I can personal train at 80 years old, one is maybe it's unrealistic, right? But also...
Louis Simmons?
Well, yeah, great example.
Charles Poliquin?
Yeah, those...
They were old, 60, 70, whatever, 50, but they were still in the game.
Yes.
But what they recognized was to be a teacher.
Yes.
So be the coach's coach. So even there, if you specialize, you need to specialize also your business. You need to develop your business.
Yeah.
Just because I own a business or a gym or a club as Klub der Sportfreunde doesn't mean that this can't change.
No.
Because if I see, hey, let's say weightlifting is going to be out of attractivity one day. I have a space of 80 square meters. What you going to do with this? You're going to leave it like this, empty for the whole day just because 3 people are training for weightlifting? Or do I going to rethink and say, okay, I'm going to reuse the space differently? Who knows?
Yeah.
But you need to evaluate all the things, all the business decisions as well. So that's why, as long it works, be the best in it. If it doesn't work, try to become better in different things.
Yeah. Like
develop.
You can certainly pivot and adapt and, grow in that aspect, right? But it's something, that's definitely in the back of my mind of, okay, what is the end game, right? In terms of developing, let's say, my own brand as Coach Q, or, as you know, I am also working towards kind of opening up a place. So that's also something, right?
You need to.
Yeah.
They're going to attract all the Prishtina guys.
But then also in terms of sort of, being, whether it's becoming a coach in itself for coaches, there's so many ways that this can play out, right? But I think certainly it would be, I think, just a shame for personally, just to end up as a personal trainer, right? Because the potential, I think, is for all of us is much more than that, as a trainer to then also kind of branch out and see where things go, right?
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
But so going back to you, in terms of I recall a brief discussion in Zurich when you were kind of telling me about your background and how Klub der Sportfreunde was developed. Maybe you could just kind of give us a little bit of the highlights of your career path, and then how the origin of Klub der Sportfreunde, how that came to be.
It's hard to describe. It started 15 years ago or more. Almost 20 years ago. I was 17, I was overweight. I'm still overweight. No, but I was overweight. I was over, I think, almost 130 kilos. And I needed to start, and I was a black belt karateka.
Okay.
Yeah. So I needed to start to train and lose weight. And to be honest, it wasn't about health. It was to look good for the other gender, to be attractive.
Well, like a lot of us.
This is nothing wrong.
Yeah, especially at that age, right?
Yes. And I achieved it. I was losing about 40 kilos, had a six-pack. I was fit. And I saw what impact this strength training is going to have on my health over the time. So I asked my trainer back in the day, I was like, hey, can you teach me or can you show me more information of what I can do with this? And then he handed me out one specific book from Dr. Axel Gottlob. He became also one of my mentors over my career path. He's coming from Heidelberg, Stuttgart, close by. And he wrote a book, Differenziertes Krafttraining. And differenziertes Krafttraining is based on needs of your clients, of the current situation where the client is, and not just 3 sets of 8 to 12, but getting into context, getting into the goals, getting into the situation, health markers, whatever, and creating a right program for this person over the career path from them. So until they achieve the goal, if it is a personal training or a regular client. Then years after, I did the master trainer course by him and successfully passed it with a good degree. My goal was to step into this business, and I stepped into this business before with some basic educations and did some of my internships and stuff like this. But I wasn't sure if I'm going to be like 100% trainer or is it like a hobby thing like 90% of the people are doing. And then I made my decision with my wife. Back in the day, she was my girlfriend. And I said to her, I'm going to move to Zurich. And for that reason, that I'm going to open a gym one day. And I had to secure a job. So I cut off my salary about a third, worked at the gym. David Gym is one of the most known bodybuilding gyms in Zurich.
Okay.
And started to work there for almost 3 years. And over the 3 years, I did the educations. I did some specific education like weightlifting, powerlifting, stuff like this. And then I get to know my business partners. And then over the years, we wrote a business plan. We knew what we want and opened our club in August 2017.
Okay.
And yeah, we passed COVID. COVID was pretty hard. Was a quite interesting. I mean, even just for this topic, you can talk 2 hours.
Yeah.
But it was an interesting time. Interesting in terms of it gave you a lot of challenges, a lot, like high like the Mount Everest. But then you have seen who is able to develop and who is not able to develop.
Yeah, there was a lot of sort of trimming the fat, as they would maybe say. Maybe that's not the best expression, but in terms of like, you know, me experiencing in London, for example, lots of gyms closed, and then the ones that survived, you know, I feel like in general came out stronger.
Yes, that's what's happened with us.
Yeah.
So the age of our clients just climbed up drastically after COVID.
So average age was an older population?
It was super young.
Okay.
When we started, it was like 20 up to 30.
Okay.
Now you would say the average age is like 38 above.
Okay.
Managers, high-ranked positions, CEOs, stuff like this. In-person training, of course. And all the general pop from young to old. Our oldest client is 92.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
And she's training since the beginning, and she's a super good, super nice woman.
That's a longevity goal as well.
Yeah, she's a role model. I mean, it's crazy what she has achieved over the time. She gained bone density, muscle mass, even in this age, and it was like quite.
Well, it just
impressive.
shows the importance of strength training.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and she's a good role model for everybody. Just to see what you can achieve, even with 2-3 workouts a week, like 30 minutes. You don't have to look like Arnold.
No. I mean, I think also the misconception is, and I've talked about this especially for females, is like, just because you pick up a dumbbell doesn't mean you become that.
Oh no!
And to become something like Arnold or any, let's say, female, you know, aesthetic or bodybuilding athlete, that takes time, dedication, and effort like none other.
I mean, you know this term. Do I gonna gain a lot of muscles? I'm like, yeah. Can I have your secret, please?
Yeah.
I want to gain a muscle as well.
Yeah,
it takes time. It takes time and passion and dedication. And no, the journey was quite interesting though over the last years. We are not stopping. We are continuing. We open up our knock on wood.
Yeah.
We open in May our second facility. It's gonna be a really nice one with the same philosophy. Super good coaches. It's also a big shout out to my coaches that are working for me, my team. It's without them, it wouldn't be possible to grow this business. And it's also the thing that you need to appreciate. It's not on me. I'm just a part of it. I started this business, but it's on my team to keep it in the standards. And you need to surround yourself with good people. That's super important.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of meeting very briefly, I think 2-3 of your trainers, your team members, and you know what immediately like the thing that stuck to me was like they were also from different backgrounds, right?
Yes.
Different disciplines, and they were good at what they did, right?
Yes, everybody is specialized in something.
Yeah.
All my coaches are specialized in something. They know the basics. Everybody is good. I would say one of the best in Zurich in the basics. And they're for sure the best in their specific field. I have just, for example, Michele. He is a champion in powerlifting, in strongman, in bodybuilding right now. He's dominating the scene.
He was behind the bar when I met him, right?
Yeah, the huge guy.
Yeah.
Then I have Enrico. He's an Exos certified coach. He's super good in athletic training. I have many other. Mimi, she's
the half Japanese one, right?
Oh yeah, she would be a good future wife for you.
Because I'm Japanese too. So,
I know.
Yeah.
No, she is phenomenal. She's running our boot camps. She's running some personal trainings. She's currently also working at Google as a trainer, and she is doing a phenomenal job. She's like a motivation bomb.
Okay.
Then I have a lot of people that are working behind the desk. Some personal trainers still helping out, and also like the future client guys and girls that want to working with me. Like there are some people in the list, like physiotherapists, sports scientists, stuff like this. They want to work with us. It's super nice. What type of people we are attracting? It's not like, as I said, we are not a gym. It sounds weird because you're walking in, you have machines, you have weights, you have dumbbells, you have barbells, but it's not a gym. It's a sports center. And it's very important to differentiate these things because we are not commercial. We are not trimmed to be commercial. Of course, we want to make money, and it's important to be profitable. But the background is to achieve goals, to try to pull in the clients that are willing to train and call them if they are not training. So I don't want to have, like, we call it Karteileichen in German, like if somebody is just on a list and he's never showing up, like a passive investor. That's the thing I don't want to have. I want to have people using my stuff, using my facility, coming frequently, even if they're coming just twice a week or once a week, they're coming.
Which is a big difference because you have, like Planet Fitness and all these big commercial gyms.
They're living from this.
Yes. They are counting on people to sign up. New year, new me, January.
Exactly.
1 year contract, and then ciao.
Well, if you go to Switzerland now or all over Europe or whatever, all over the world, the New Year resolutions are 1 month away. Almost, or 3 weeks away. So all your advertisement on Facebook, Instagram, Google, whatever, is trimmed on fitness products because your lazy ass is not willing to work. And they're selling you the stupid stuff, the membership for 2 years, and you're bonded.
Yeah.
In my case, I don't have any advertising running right now. We are fully booked. If people are willing to come, I give them a spot. If not, I say thank you over here. There is no discount.
Yeah, because you
no
mentioned
negotiations.
500 spots,
yes,
right, for the original location.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we are even overbooked, but it's okay because you have always a fluctuation. Some people are moving away or whatever. They have different interests. But what is super important for me is I'm never gonna tie them into the gym or to the company. If somebody says he wants to leave, hey, you're free.
Yeah.
Even if you have a contract, go.
Okay.
Why should I keep you?
Yeah. But that goes that also ties into your overall philosophy, right? And then should they want to come back, they have that in the back of their mind, right?
If your gym membership runs out, you're gonna receive 2-3 months before a message.
Yeah.
Hey, do you want to renew? Yes, of course. Business-wise, I'm gonna contact you and want to know if you want to renew.
Yeah.
But if you say no, I'm totally fine.
Yeah.
And then if I say, hey, what is your critic? Why do you renew? Well, I can't afford it, or I move away. But the only thing that I don't want to hear is I didn't like it.
Yeah. So like that, hence the strive to deliver. Because again, going back to sort of the difference between a gym and a performance center, right? Which is what you guys, how you see yourself and define
we see
yourselves
ourselves like this. Yeah.
So then it's sort of, okay, are we hitting your goals in terms of, are we hitting the KPIs or whatever? Each person, it's going to be different, right?
Yeah.
And so then kind of let's because there's so many things that and we're going to have to probably sit down another time. So
no problem. Maybe on my podcast next time.
Well, yeah. What is it called, by the way?
I don't know. I'm just playing around and thinking around. I want to do it as well.
Okay.
I have so many interesting person to talk to.
Okay. Well, when this episode comes down, then we'll make sure that it's included in the bio and the link and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, but then maybe it'd be interesting to just and again like somehow to in a nutshell, how does the onboarding of a client, right? How does that work for you guys? Because it's a gym. You just go up, walk in, sign a form, whatever, and then boom, you get your bracelet, whatever, and then just start using, right?
Well,
for the most part.
maybe important to know what kind of services we offer.
Yeah. So let's start with that.
Yeah, we have 3 memberships that we offer, 3, 6, or 12 months, and one is the basic membership, the other one is the classic membership, and the highest is the premium membership. Mm-hmm. The basic membership is designed for people that want to come for the open gym and the classes.
Okay.
And even the classes are high-end coaching. So you're gonna be delivered by a program that is run for a month. You're gonna have a ton of information.
What are some of the classes?
Hypertrophy class. So we have a strength-based training program that is involving all the aspects like machines, free weight, barbells, dumbbells, cables. We have the modified strongman, we have Olympic weightlifting, we have handstand, we have
like gymnastics kind of thing. Yeah.
We have a high intensity class running over lunch. We have boxing, high end boxing.
So that's like almost 8-10 different classes kind of. Yeah.
And then the classic membership is designed for people that want to have or reach goals. They have specific goals. They're beginners or they are intermediate and advanced, but they want to have a coach by the side. And there's going to be always every 8 week an appointment or more multiple appointments with a checkup, 3D scan, goal settings, movement testings, technical testing, programming, introducing on the program every 8 weeks.
So there's an onboarding with that individual, right?
It's like all the clients that are taking online coaching nowadays. They have their coach in the UK, US, or whatever. You have it in your gym, and he's going to deliver your program. He's going to be by your side physically. Of course, you're not going to have person training because for that you need to pay a lot of money. But for all the coaching aspects, you have a coach by the side.
Okay.
And if you're lucky, he's close to you and he can have a technical overview.
Okay.
If you do your lift right, if you have any questions, stuff like this. And if not, you have a technical device or the app that we are using. And you can ask questions. You can upload some videos. You can upload pictures or whatever.
So there's that feedback kind of okay.
Yes. And and then we have the premium membership. This is basically a classic membership with 2 personal trainings per week, fixed appointments, and usually managers or people in higher positions are taking these services.
Okay.
It's a minimum duration of 3 months, but just from experience on, these people are staying as long they want, like usually 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, you even mentioned, I think, like your average client, like relationship is years.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like you can confidently say, like people don't just show up for a month, kind of, unless they happen to be like 1 month in town.
That's a different thing.
Yeah.
But
you don't even
years.
count that, right?
Years. Like an average person training 2 years.
So then, out of the 3 memberships, what is the majority? Is it the classic or the premium?
Of course, the basic.
Oh, basic is the biggest. Okay.
Yeah. Classic the second, and around 30 people with a premium.
Okay, and then you also have people with like who do the personal training much more frequently, probably too.
Yes, we don't sell 10 sessions.
Okay.
We have memberships.
Yeah.
And the reason is that you want to deliver results.
Sure.
Because a 10 session card or whatever you want to call it can be forever. He can come once a month. He can come every second month. He can come once a year. Technically seen by law, he can come as long as you want. And for business reason, you want to have a frequent income of money. So that's why a membership makes most sense. And you also, forcing is the wrong word, but you're motivating a client to come frequently. And for these managers, the most important thing is to have time. Time for themselves, time not to be available for anyone else, for the work, for the family, just me time.
Yeah.
That combined with a goal creates a perfect client.
Absolutely, yeah. because then there's the right amount of sort of not urgency, but like, well, already a buy-in, right, for to be on the same page. Like,
sure,
okay, this
because
is
you're committing for 3 months.
yeah.
And it's not nothing. Of course, for some people, it's they can afford it. For others, they need to save the money. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's important for them, for their health, for their mental, psychological health,
Yeah.
for their fitness goals, whatever.
Now, in terms of sort of, I think one thing as a maybe this is a question to ask, like, have you put on your trainer's hat now, right? Versus like kind of from the business side of things. Like, I think, and we kind of hinted on it earlier in terms of like, you know, become specialized in something, but then also kind of, you know, expand your knowledge base, right? Mm. Especially with social media these days, right? There's a little bit of a push and pull struggle for a lot of trainers where, yes, they do their core, but then like what's on social media might be like, you know, for the likes or something fancy or whatever, right? And then it's sort of like this push and pull struggle with also like doing what's right for the client, right? But then the client also wants something, right? And that might not necessarily be, and like just bring up social media as just one example because, you know, people are checking it. It's like, oh, let's try this exercise. Oh, that looks cool. That looks fun or whatever. But it could be completely like off-piste, right? You know,
Yeah.
And sometimes half the stuff we see on social media, it's like, what the F, right? So how do you, and then maybe also like, because you're overseeing the team, and I'm sure all of them have their own way of kind of doing it, like kind of balancing, you know, kind of giving what, again, with what the client wants, versus also because you have your assessment and everything too, all right, we've established your goals, these kind of things. This is how we think it should go, right?
Yeah. Well, I need to go back to my education. I am in a lucky position, that I had like really good mentors, and they taught me well, they teach me well, and I had mentors. They were experts in their field. For example, Dr. Peter Lundgren. He was, I would say, even the advertiser or the guy that corrected Charles Poliquin by some stuff.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? He was living for 3 years with us, I mean, with me and my wife, as a roommate, basically.
Wow.
Couch surfing.
Yeah.
Because he tried to develop his business in Switzerland, but then he moved to Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
He's working currently, I think, for the royal family. But
okay,
he
well,
was, yeah,
from
he was my private teacher,
Wow.
and it was easy for me. It's hard to explain to other people, but I had like an open book. I had Wikipedia.
Yeah.
I had all these anatomy books next to one person that I can ask 24/7.
Yeah.
Hey Peter, what do you think about it? Hey what do you think about this exercise? What do you think? Bullshit, good. Bullshit, good.
Wow.
And what he pushed me in my brain was always basics first, 99%.
Yeah.
And it's also like if you're training athletes, where it does start. Foundation. If you're not able to accomplish these foundations, it doesn't make sense to work on the circus exercises.
Yeah.
Because in the end of the day, it's nothing else than circus training. What are you seeing? Yeah. So if you're not able to move in a right way, while you're trying to do some artistic work, while you try to impress somebody on Instagram with exercises, nobody cares. Because there are a million people that are looking way better than you.
Yeah.
They move way more weight than you. They probably know also more than you.
Yeah.
Why you try to do this bullshit? Right?
Yeah.
So again, coming back to this, what I said before, try to best in one field, specialize, and deliver as many content. Because if you see it from a business perspective, we are in a time where we can communicate for free, basically. Instagram, whatever. We can communicate for free, and you're gonna find your clients. You don't have to be attractive for everybody.
No. And I think like it's foolish to think that, right?
Yeah, but it's the problem that most of the people think about.
Yeah.
They look on Instagram, how many likes do I got? How many views do I got? But if you go into this loop, is it like 1 or 0.5% that is really interested in this, about this?
Yeah.
From this 10,000 people that have watched your video, nobody cares.
Yeah.
I mean, I like your things. You're going towards information. You're going to basic information. This is what the people need, is the basic information. I'm not here to impress, let's say, even if I have clients like this, NHL players. I don't need to attract them. If I can attract an upcoming ice hockey player,
sure,
I'm on the right spot because I can teach them well, as an example. Or if I have like somebody that is coming with shoulder pain, I don't have to attract a pro athlete if I can have 100 amateurs. I don't care. I care about that stuff, what I'm good in, and I'm caring about the people they listening to me.
And it's certainly like kind of sticking to your core, right? Your essence, right?
Yeah.
What you've already established your business like from, right? And then I think, you kind of, being like doing the simple stuff, consistently, that is already where like you reap so much of the rewards, right?
It sounds simple, but it's hard
Yes.
to be consistent and working on the basics, because you need to manage to be good at the basics.
Yeah.
To become good at these specific things like sprinting, jumping, throwing, cleaning, snatching, whatever.
Yeah.
If you're not able to move in the right pattern, why you should try to move on complicated movements? If you're not able to stabilize your core, why you should want to do a front squat?
Yeah.
Whatever.
And then
you can go up in this pyramid. It's always the same. And it's a fake world out there. It's a fake world on this cell phone. So, I mean, I see it. Sex sells. That's why it works. It's that's why it works also with programming. That's why it's working with nutrition or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not the best example, like just physically, but my brain has a six pack.
Yeah, and I think like in terms of like you might be able to make an impression in the initial stages with that, but then if there's no substance behind it, right?
Yeah.
Then eventually, like
Over time, the client's going to recognize it.
yes, and it's also it's one thing also very important that like it might have worked for you, right? But then how does that translate for that person, right? And it kind of also then goes back to where we were discussing a little bit about like its context, right? Who is this person in front of you?
Yeah.
Right? And it's, how can we make that person move right? Then you have to adapt the program to that person, right? Versus you're going to do whatever I did.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I'm coming now with a hard comment, but in my opinion, there is no wrong training program as long as the people are moving.
Yeah. Well, in the scale of like when we look at nothing to everything, something is always better than nothing, right?
Yes. In terms of this, if you're motivating people to move, nothing's wrong. If you're not using freaking weight, the risk of injury is low. It's either you need to look to perspective. Or I mean,
well,
you can be a technical program nerd. You can be like super into this and say, yeah, we are in phase 2, phase 1. We have 12 phases in front of us, so we need to do all this access. Who cares? If I see that the client is not able to do his 3 sets today, I'm reducing it. If he's not able to do the load, I'm reducing it.
But that's where it's really important, like the context, right?
For
That
sure.
whoever is in front
Always.
of you, right? Like
Always.
it's like sitting down with that person, understanding who they are, right?
Yeah.
And then kind of yes, goals, all this, but then like sort of I'm sure you do this where it's the consultation period of like, okay, tell me, Ilir, how's your 9 to 5 look like? What is that, right? How do you sleep? All this kind of things.
Even there. I mean, how deep you go into these questions?
Yeah.
You're a single, right? Not maybe. Do you have kids?
No.
I have kids. My nutrition is going to look different.
Yeah. Yeah.
My schedule is going to look different.
Yeah.
We are both business owner in different terms. You have your own business by your own. I have employees, different stress level. So you need every client that you have in front of you is going to be different than the other.
Yeah.
Female, males, young, old.
Yeah.
Injuries, no injuries.
Sure.
Experience, no experience.
Yeah.
So you can go in a rabbit hole. You can go so deep. And you should.
Yeah.
You should be interested over the time. You don't need all the information from the beginning.
No. But you need to start painting that initial picture, right?
Exactly.
So
then you need to also consider this, because if you see that the people are struggling with certain things, you need to ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
You need to see why they're struggling, why are not they keeping their trainings, or why are not they're holding on their nutrition program or whatever.
Yeah, because you could work your tail off, that 1 hour or how many hours you spend in the gym. But then if the rest of the, 23 hours is falling apart and you're
Yes.
putting out fires, then it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
It's basically stress on stress,
Yes.
right? And what we're trying to do is create an environment or foster that environment where, the different stresses are just the right amount that person is moving forward, right? Progressing, getting stronger and getting healthier and fitter and all that, right? So, Ilir, I'm conscious of time. We have a taxi waiting for you.
Thank you very much.
But just one last, maybe if you wanted to put down like some goals for 2024 and then we'll wrap this up.
My goals?
Yeah.
Man, I want to just be better than yesterday. Every day better than yesterday.
Okay.
That's my goal. My life philosophy.
Okay. And then real quickly, I know you mentioned briefly like the second location is opening up. Timeline for that?
May
2024?
Yes.
Okay. So guys, that was Ilir Halili, owner of Club der Sportfreunde. Really thank you for this time and this
Thanks for
chat.
this invitation.
And we'll definitely do this again.
Hopefully soon.
All right. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. This is Never the Right Time, powered by 5-Star and Onze Recovery. You're listening to Urban FM 103.5, 105.5 FM. Thank you.